The future is on display in Vidalia, a future that's built one shot at a time and aimed toward the pinnacle of women's golf and the tour that leads to the dream. The road to stardom, the LPGA Futures Tour, goes through Onion Country. Now, live from the Hawks Point Golf Club, this is the Vidalia Championship.
And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Hawks Point Golf Club in Vidalia. I'm Rick Snow with Tim Guidera here, and this is the home for the LPGA Futures Championship. And this is a great tournament for young ladies trying to make it on the LPGA Tour.
Absolutely. It's a developmental tour. They're here to learn. They're here to learn how to win. They're here to learn how to be tour professionals. You know, a lot of these players are out of college. They're international players. They were in a little bubble until now. They get out here. They're playing national golf on a big level, and it takes a little getting used to. This is where they learn how to do that. Of course, the goal is always to get to that next level.
Absolutely. Of course, you know, they play tournament golf in college and, you know, junior golf and all that. But it's different when you're playing for money, isn't it?
It's different when you're playing for money, and it's different when you're doing it every week on the road by yourself. You know, that takes a little getting used to, and this, again, this is where they do it. Now, this is a pretty good level of play out here. You know, it's not a power game. You won't see that you see on the men's tour, but you stand on that driving range, you see great golf swings, you see great ball striking, you see the ball flying straight off of every club. It just doesn't go as far. It's still a level of golf and a style of golf that is very easy to appreciate.
And right now, we're in the middle of the second round, a three-round tournament, 54 holes. And right now, we have a tie for the lead. Sydney Michaels is at 4 under par.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit of activity at the top of the leaderboard this morning already.
And Lisa Ferraro. Now, Lisa Ferraro started birdie, 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 had a double bogey, birdied the 5th hole, and then had another double bogey.
Yeah. How'd you like to make 4 birdies in the first 5 holes and lose ground?
That's right.
Doesn't have a par on a card through 6 holes and is tied for the lead now. But it's already an exciting second round. It's going to get even better because some of the leaders won't be going off until this afternoon, about 12:40. The 3 through 5 players hit the course. So all day long there'll be activity on that leaderboard.
Now, Tim, you were here yesterday. The conditions were totally different than they are today. Very benign today.
Yeah, very still now. Yesterday, good bit of wind. It was blowing around. Died a little bit later in the day, but it was a factor to deal with. And you can see that on the leaderboard. Let's take a look at that first round, the highlights there. Jody Ewert was the early leader, just 1 under par through 11 holes, but she played the next 4 in -5, including an eagle on number 6. She holed out a 60-degree wedge from 60 yards.
Wow.
And that moved her up the board. Now, she had some trouble with the wind coming in, though. Hit it in that right bunker on number 9. Her last hole actually bogeyed 8 and 9 to slip back to 2 under par and in 4th place.
Elisa Saramia was in the lead at 3 under through 16 holes, but then she had a bogey and a misread there, and then she finished at 1 under par, tied for 5th place.
Yeah, actually 3-putted that 9th hole, which was a little disappointing. But Catherine Bristow, she also reached the 9th tee at 3 under par, but like a lot of players, her tee shot found that right bunker. Nobody was getting up and down from there yesterday. It was a really difficult shot. Now, Catherine made double bogey on that par 3. She had a little difficulty with the wind on the greens, interestingly enough. Also finished at 71, tied for 5th.
Now, Sydney Michaels, we've already talked about her. She played a bogey-free round yesterday, one of the few on the day. She just missed a long birdie putt at 18 and finished at 4 under, but that was good enough for 2nd place.
Yeah, and she was right there, but that left the leader after 18 holes as Lisa Ferraro, who we were talking about just a little earlier. She also caught a break with the wind later in the day when it died down. Didn't seem to bother her at all when it was blowing, though. She made 7 birdies on the day. Hit it in there close on 18, as you see. Had about 6 feet for birdie and the lead. She makes that, shoots 5 under 67, which put her 1 shot clear of the field. And it was the start to the tour's 2nd leading money winner she was looking for this week.
I tend to play well in the wind, so I don't mind the wind. I went to the University of Texas, so I learned how to play in the wind. But I just hit a lot of greens and made a few putts here and there, so it was a good round.
I am very pleased. I played really solid, and I didn't have any bogeys today. It was a bogey-free round. Still left a few opportunities out there, a couple missed birdie putts here and there, but overall, I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah, I got off to a great start, and you know, today I just try not to think too much about score and just about different shots. I'm just trying to hit good shots and good putts, and you know, whatever. If they fell, they fell. If they didn't, you know, they didn't.
I expected that the wind was going to be pretty hard, but you've got to prepare for everything, and it's kind of, I play better in the wind because you have to focus more, you know, you're taking more time, you're carefully selecting clubs and, you know, your lines and everything, so overall pretty good day.
And my only sort of bad hole was the last where I made a double, but I had a plugged lie in the bunker, so I was just trying to get it out and unfortunately hit it over the green and then didn't get up and down from there. So that's the way it goes, and but I'm very happy with 71.
Today I just really wanted to try to have fun. The last couple tournaments I've really just been putting a lot of pressure on myself and really haven't enjoyed the game and just being out here. So I'm just going to try to continue just to have fun and, you know, enjoy the time that I have.
Just, you know, tee up tomorrow and try and play the best I can tomorrow and see how it goes.
Got to hit the fairways here to give yourself, you know, good approaches into the greens, and then you putt well. I mean, these greens are pretty tricky with the grain and the slope, and basically that's the approach. Keep it the same, keep it simple, and see what happens.
It's just putting up a score, trying to be in contention for Sunday, and that's all you can control. So.
And the leaderboard, you see Lisa Ferraro, 5 under par after a 67 yesterday, had a one-shot lead over Sydney Michaels. And you see a lot of other players right there behind them. 7 players under par in the first round.
That's right, and you know, when we talked at 6 o'clock yesterday, there were 14 players under par, so scoring might have gotten a little bit more difficult somehow when that wind died down, but 18 players at par or better heading to the second round. As we said before, we've already seen movement. There's already a tie for the lead at the top of the leaderboard, and it's going to be interesting all day. And you know, Rick, this is a very important tournament to these players in the Futures Tour.
Why is that?
Well, they're trying to make a living, but it is also very important to Hawks Point Golf Club and to Vidalia. This club and this community have really rallied around this event.
A lot of people coming to visit, and our Dal Kennedy has talk and tell us all about what this means to the town of Vidalia.
Well, guys, the energy and anticipation has really been building since December when the tour and the club leaders announced the very first Vidalia Championship. Take a look at some video from back then. This is from December when they made the announcement of the very first, the inaugural Vidalia Championship. It is also a national debut of sorts for this redesigned course and club. And both groups know the event brings a focus on this community, and tour leaders say the community has come through.
It's pretty big for a small town like Vidalia, so I really don't know how they pulled it off, but it's going to be great for this community.
And this is the kind of market we love being in. We're the only game in town at this time, and people know we're here, they know the players are here, and they truly are just so excited about the fact that the international tour is right here in their hometown.
And guys, when you talk with Christy Barks, you talk with the players on this tour, they are just blown over by the quality of the facilities. They keep referring to it as a world-class facility, and also a hidden gem that they say the rest of the world's about to find out about through this tournament. But they love the place, they love the volunteers that they're meeting in this community, so it really is building a lot of excitement.
All right, it's great for the city of Vidalia, great for Onion Country.
It's, you know, it truly is an international game here this week. 40 states represented, 32 countries represented in this field.
Wow, and of course, this tournament is not just a professional tournament. This tournament means a lot for the future of these young ladies.
Absolutely, and when we come back, we will take a look at how it's not just a race to the end of the week, but a race to the end of the season on the LPGA Futures Tour.
Looking for a hole-in-one? Come to the scenic Hawks Point Golf Club, a place with over 6,700 yards of rolling fairways, a place where there are USGA-compliant champion greens. It's a place of a true golfer's paradise. When you're done with the course, head over to Talon's Bar and Grill, serving lunch and dinner, including a Saturday seafood buffet and a Sunday lunch special at extremely reasonable prices. Plan your next special event at the finest banquet facility in the Vidalia area. For more information, go to hawkspointgolfclub.com or call the Pro Shop, 912-537-9256.
This new Ram 1500 is so loaded with performance and personality that any attempt to describe it falls short. Performance on duty everywhere in Savannah. Like heavy-duty jobs here, and the personality for duty here. Guts and glory, that's Ram. Proves itself at every turn. Turn in here at Hoover Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. I'm David Hoover, and this Ram is hot.
Guts, glory,
Ram. Today's LPGA Futures Tour Vidalia Championship is sponsored in part by Vidalia Medical Associates, Endoscopy Center of Southeast Georgia in Vidalia, and Salter Shook Tippett, Attorneys at Law in Vidalia.
Is it my sugar white sand, my turquoise water, or something more? Like the way I bring your family together, the looks on your kids' faces, the memories you'll hang on to forever. I'm the Alabama Gulf Coast, and if you love coming here as much as I love having you, we should get together again soon.
Back at Hawks Point in Vidalia, we are watching the LPGA Futures Championship, and this is a very interesting tournament. You know, the top 10, it means something at the end of the season, but the top 5 means even more.
Yeah, you know, they're playing for something every week. You know, all week long they're shooting to the end of the year, because the way that you get to the next level is on this level. You play your way onto the LPGA Tour. So every week these players are not just playing for trophies, they're also chasing a dream 1 week at a time.
Behind every swing, at the end of every putt, is an unspoken goal and an inherent pressure.
When I was young and people asked you what you wanted to do, it was, I want to be an LPGA player, so.
That is a constant of the LPGA Futures Tour, where young golfers play for their futures. At the end of the season, the top 5 players on the Tour's money list will earn exempt status for the 2012 LPGA Tour season. The next 5 receive conditional status. So a handful of players chasing a dream at the Vidalia Championship are close to realizing it.
You know, it's definitely very exciting, but also very stressful. You know, you got to come out here and, you know, try to make every putt, hit every shot, you know, as good as you can.
Because time is running out. With just 2 weeks left in the season, just over $4,000 separates 5th and 6th place on the money list. Number 11, Sophia Sheridan, is only $1,100 out of an exempt spot.
Yeah, it's time to make a move, right? I have 6 competitive rounds, so that's plenty enough to get to top 10 or even top 5.
At the other end of the list, 2 weeks might seem like too much time for money leader Kathleen Eakey.
Well, there's a lot of players that have, you know, come on strong the past few weeks and then they're playing really well, so I know that, you know, I have to play really well too.
But those trying to grab an exempt position or hold on to one agree that the only number to worry about once play begins is on the scorecard.
You start thinking about numbers and about money, and it's too complicated to keep track even, so just play your game and hope for the best.
The minute you start trying to control the money list is the time you start to not play good golf.
Then add up on Sunday, and hopefully it adds up to first place.
Or with a $15,000 winner's check this week, at least a better place.
I think by the end of Sunday night, you're going to see a lot of movement going on in the top 10, especially in the 6th to 12th spot.
Yeah, well, there's certainly going to be the potential for movement on that leaderboard, because look at this. This is the top 10 on the money list coming in, and several of the players, 7 of them, left the door open for movement by shooting high scores yesterday. Only Lisa Ferraro, Sydney Michaels, and Leah Wigger shot good scores yesterday, so we could see some players sneak up in there, maybe even into the top 5 by the end of this week.
Can you imagine the pressure on these young ladies? Say you're 6th or 7th or 4th or 5th. You could move up and down, maybe lose that exempt spot?
You know, it's got to be tremendous, the pressure. But you talk to them, and every one of them says the minute they step on the golf course, that goes out of their mind. That you can't think about that, because if you do, you can't play. You just get crippled by the pressure, and you can't even concentrate. So, again, by the end of tomorrow, there could be a lot of movement. And this is one of 2 weeks left. One more week in the season, and we are going to know which 5 players graduate to the LPGA Tour. You know, since 1999, 67 players have earned their LPGA Tour cards right here on the Futures Tour.
And Tim, this is the first of 3 years that this tournament will be here, and Hawks Point has done a great job getting the tournament here and putting on a great show.
Yeah, you know, this has become their signature event, and when we come back, Dal Kennedy is going to chat with one of the owners. We're going to find out just how much this event means to the club and the community.
For a hole-in-one, come to the scenic Hawks Point Golf Club, a place with over 6,700 yards of rolling fairways, a place where there are USGA-compliant champion greens. It's a place of a true golfer's paradise. When you're done with the course, head over to Talon's Bar and Grill, serving lunch and dinner, including a Saturday seafood buffet and a Sunday lunch special at extremely reasonable prices. Plan your next special event at the finest banquet facility in the Vidalia area. For more information, go to hawkspointgolfclub.com or call the Pro Shop, 912-537-9256.
You're busy. Time is valuable. You have an important meeting this morning. Where can you go for a great breakfast that won't break the bank and won't make you late? Larry's Restaurant. You have a full day of errands to run, places to be. Where can you relax for a moment, have a great lunch, and be on your way? Larry's Restaurant. For 30 years, Larry's Restaurant has been serving fresh home-cooked meals. Our staff is friendly and attentive to give you the best service. Larry's Restaurant, 3000 Skidaway Road in Savannah.
Today's LPGA Futures Tour Vidalia Championship is sponsored in part by Vidalia Medical Associates, Endoscopy Center of Southeast Georgia in Vidalia, and Salter Shook Tippett, Attorneys at Law in Vidalia. Hey, Appling County, Hinesville area, Wayne County, WTOC is in your community. Join the conversation at WTOC.com. News just for you. All about your community, in your community, at WTOC.com.
Bury me, River Jordan, bury me.
It's no secret. Plenty of sweet music comes out of Alabama. It's a year-long celebration where the roots of American music run deep. So make the trip and feel the music. It's the Year of Alabama Music. Follow it at yearofalabamamusic.com and on Facebook.
And back here in Vidalia, we're at the beautiful golf course at Hawks Point. And Dal Kennedy right now is with one of the owners, Sam Page, I'm sorry.
All right, guys, we're talking with Sam Page, one of the principal owners here. Sam, you've got to be proud and you've got to be elated at how things are going so far.
Yes, sir. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but we've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed the girls. They're a lot of fun, and I really enjoy this. A lot of people out here said they've really enjoyed watching the girls hit and play balls, and it's a good thing for our community.
Dal turn sideways.
You guys take a risk when you notify the LPGA Futures and say, hey, come take a look at our course, come take a look at our facilities, see what you think. You had to know that the work that you guys have been doing over the last few years, that it really paid off.
Yeah, we put a lot of hard work into this place. I mean, we totally redone everything, new banquet facility, new restaurant, and the total course is new. I mean, we got really challenging greens. We got long holes, short holes, but they're really challenging. And our greens, we got Champion Bermuda, and they're really fast, tough to read.
I've heard some of these ladies using the word challenging a couple of times talking about this course. What do you feel like this does in terms of exposure of this community as people, these players are from all over the country and all over the world, and their hometowns, their home countries are hearing about Vidalia this week?
It's a really good thing. I mean, a lot of the girls have told me they really enjoyed staying. They've learned a lot about us, and a lot of the families that are housing the girls have learned a lot about them and, the way they do things. So it's a great thing for everybody. Our community learns from them, and they learn from us.
And you've also got some more tournaments coming on, some other ones coming up later this year.
Yeah, in October we got the Sun Belt Senior Tour coming, which will be a lot of fun. It's people can come out and watch it too. It'll be a good 2 days worth of tournaments.
Well, the thing I've heard from the ladies so far is the facilities are gorgeous and the course is challenging. That's about all you want, right?
That's correct. They've had a hard time on a lot of the greens, hard time reading them. They've really said they're fast. But they've also said it's a great course, and they would love to come back again. They said it really prepares them for the big show.
Listen, you have certainly made it worthwhile, and I think everything they've said so far, they've called it a world-class facility, a hidden gem that's about to be found by the rest of the golf world. So you guys have certainly outdone yourselves. Tim and Rick, back to you guys.
All right. It's been a very, very busy week already. We're about halfway through the tournament, but a lot going on before this.
Yeah, because this is not just 3 rounds of golf for these players. They get in early in the week, they play pro-ams, they have skills competitions. When we come back, Dal is going to take a look at just how busy these players are all week here at Hawks Point.
For a hole-in-one, come to the scenic Hawks Point Golf Club, a place with over 6,700 yards of rolling fairways, a place where there are USGA-compliant champion greens. It's a place of a true golfer's paradise. When you're done with the course, head over to Talon's Bar and Grill, serving lunch and dinner, including a Saturday seafood buffet and a Sunday lunch special at extremely reasonable prices. Plan your next special event at the finest banquet facility in the Vidalia area. For more information, go to hawkspointgolfclub.com or call the Pro Shop, 912-537-9256.
The most important part of what we do is service to families. We help them and guide them in their most trying of times. That we live here, that we work here, and that we're part of the community. More families choose Gamble Funeral Service because of the service given to other families.
Do you need money for medical bills, car repairs, home emergencies? Call TitleCashNow.com. 352-3511. All you need is a job, a driver's license, and a title. At TitleCashNow.com, it's easy. Call now and get 0% interest for 45 days. Abercorn at Eisenhower and Largo.
Today's LPGA Futures Tour Vidalia Championship is sponsored in part by Vidalia Medical Associates, Endoscopy Center of Southeast Georgia in Vidalia, and Salter Shook Tippett Attorneys at Law in Vidalia.
A familiar face is in a brand new place.
Get ready for America Now.
This fall, Lisa Gibbons delivers the news you can use on America Now.
Weekday afternoons this fall on WTOC.
3, 2, 1. One trip to the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and you can show your kids history in ways no textbook ever could. Experience America's space technology through interactive exhibits, exciting demonstrations, and simulator rides. Travel back in time to see dinosaurs like the colossal T-Rex. The U.S. Space and Rocket Center, where exploring the future is fun. Brought to you by the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail.
Black guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. Great, great view. And the tournament about halfway done for the 3 days that they're playing. But this has been a week-long activity, and our Dal Kennedy is going to talk to us about all the activities that have been going on since Monday.
Rick, earlier in the week, the Skills Challenge had about a dozen guys. Now, some of them are sponsors, and some of them are some of the other people that helped make this week possible. They got the chance to see how they stack up against some of the future LPGA stars.
Even years of weekend hacking couldn't prepare some of Vidalia's best for the Sun Mountain Challenge. A dozen local duffers teamed with Futures Tour pros to see what they could do.
If you fancy yourself a golfer, this can be a little humbling, can it?
It certainly can, as we just proven here in the challenge. But boy, watching these young ladies play golf and playing with them yesterday and housing a couple of ladies at our home has been a wonderful experience. And
they took to the sand trap to see who could not only get out, but land closest to the pin, and a few others.
It's a fun thing to do, kind of breaks up the intense side of the competitive week. So, you know, it's skills challenges are always quirky, but they're a lot of fun.
These are all very difficult shots, especially this wall shot, something you don't really get to see very often. Not something many people practice, so it's definitely a skills challenge at best. So get to do all sorts of things that you might not do on the golf course normally.
Besides the $1,000 prize to the pro, the challenge gives them a chance to show what they can do.
We don't have the wall, obviously, but we get ourselves in all sorts of situations. We have to try to recover from wherever we put ourselves, so we practice these things. And you know, it's fun to get out here and do it with some people that we can maybe teach them a thing or two and learn from them. So it's fun.
The final challenge came down to putting, and Ashley and her team pulled out the win.
You know, a lot of people just think, oh, a skills challenge, just hit a couple pitch shots, but then they walk up and they see a wall. So I think that kind of definitely puts a bit of a twist into it. So, and I think it makes it a little bit more intimidating for them.
Now, the gentleman playing with her certainly didn't walk away empty-handed. They're getting some Sun Mountain rain gear and apparel as well, so everybody came off pretty well. But the gentleman said it definitely shows you your perspective of how you play and how the pros do it.
Thank you, Dal Kennedy. And very interesting. You see some of the touch that those young ladies had.
And, you know, and it's great to see the amateurs and the pros together. We talk about it all the time at the Liberty Mutual Legends of Golf, how that tour is interactive. This is very interactive. The players engage with a lot of the fans. And let's just go ahead and say it. These guys who come out here to play, I'm sure they don't mind playing with a pretty girl on the golf course.
Absolutely not. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll check the current leaderboard when we return.
Looking for a hole-in-one? Come to the scenic Hawks Point Golf Club, a place with over 6,700 yards of rolling fairways, a place where there are USGA-compliant champion greens. It's a place of a true golfer's paradise. When you're done with the course, head over to Talon's Bar and Grill, serving lunch and dinner, including a Saturday seafood buffet and a Sunday lunch special at extremely reasonable prices. Plan your next special event at the finest banquet facility in the Vidalia area. For more information, go to hawkspointgolfclub.com or call the Pro Shop, 912-537-9256.
The national clearance is on here at Savannah Toyota, and while other dealers are short on inventory, that's not the case at Savannah Toyota. Right now, save thousands with Savannah Toyota's exclusive Flex Pay. So don't pay MSRP somewhere else when you can drive the Toyota of your dreams for less than half of list price. Savannah Toyota is Southeast Georgia's first choice for new Toyotas, and during the national clearance event, we should be yours as well. So if you're looking for the lowest prices on the largest selection of new and certified Toyotas, Savannah Toyota is the place to go.
It stands on land where Andrew Jackson camped during the War of 1812. Since it opened in 1852, it's entertained President Woodrow Wilson, Millard Fillmore, Jefferson Davis, and Henry Clay. Stephen Douglas stayed there the night he lost the presidency to Abraham Lincoln. The luxurious historic Battle House Hotel in Mobile, Alabama. Call 866-316-5957 today to create your own history.
Today's LPGA Futures Tour Vidalia Championship is sponsored in part by Vidalia Medical Associates, Endoscopy Center of Southeast Georgia in Vidalia, and Salter Shook Tippett, Attorneys at Law in Vidalia. Hey, Tattnall County, Toombs County, Evans County, WTOC is in your community. Join the conversation at WTOC.com. News just for you. All about your community in your community at WTOC.com.
Back in Vidalia at Hawks Point Golf Club, I'm Rick Snow with Tim Guidera. And Tim, right now we still have a tie for the lead between Lisa Ferraro and Sydney Michaels.
Right.
They've been battling all day.
Yeah, and several of the leaders are just about to hit the golf course. Numbers 3, 4, and 5 on the leaderboard, going out at 12:40.
And Hannah Burke has come on strong. She is 2 under par today to get to 3 under, just 1 shot out of the lead.
As you see there, Lisa Ferraro started with a 1-shot lead. She got off to a great start, birdieing the first 3 holes. She's backed up a little bit, tied for the lead now. And again, it's still bunched up there. There's 7 players within 3 shots of the lead right now.
Oh, yeah. And you know this is going to go back and forth through tomorrow. And it should be an exciting Sunday finishing round.
Absolutely. Well, you know, there's a lot of golf to watch here this afternoon. But Dal Kennedy, what do we have coming up later today on WTOC?
Well, coming up in just a few hours, we're going to shift from the greens to the gridiron. Tim, you and I will have a preview of the Georgia Southern Eagles for the 2011 season. And right after that, Rick follows with the preview of the Georgia Bulldogs coming up at 7:30.
And the final round begins tomorrow here at Hawks Point, and should be an exciting day for Tim Guidera. I'm Rick Snow and Dal Kennedy. We say so long, and come out and enjoy some great golf tomorrow.
To Advanced Prosthetics.